What changes would you like to see for people with MS? I asked at a local multiple sclerosis charity event people with MS and caregivers, and these are their responses, and I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below.
We need more doctors that specialize in MS.
I would definitely say more support systems, more groups to reach out to, more resources, especially for young people. Just things on, say, college campuses or groups within your hospital, your community. It affects young people too.
I'd like to see everything be more effective, whether it's the chairs we're sitting in or the medication we're taking. I want to see an end to MS.
I would just like to see more accessibility. I feel like you hear, the best doctors, it's always for the people that have the resources. I wish there was a more broad availability so that everyone kind of is on the same playing field and had the same opportunities for the recovery.
Well, first of all, I think that medical costs are just exorbitant. A lot of people don't have the insurance to cover their medical costs, so I'd like to see that be more affordable for anybody who's got MS.
We just got back from Sacramento, and the one thing we're advocating that's a new law that's in the process of going through committee right now is about durable medical equipment. And what we'd like to see change with the durable medical equipment is that right now some private insurance companies will not cover you for certain types of equipment. And for instance, with one specific provider, they will not let you get a wheelchair if you are going to be using it outside. If you tell them ahead of time you're only going to be using it indoors, then they'll let you go ahead and get it paid for.
Any thoughts from you?
I would like to see more people knowing about it and more events like this so that we can get the word out and people can understand what it is, because a lot of people don't understand it.
So I'm newly diagnosed, and I've only been diagnosed for 2 years now. I think the biggest thing that I would want to see for changes would be more of an understanding that it is different for everyone, that MS doesn't mean one thing for everyone, so I think just more of an understanding of that.
I think more reasonable access to medication. I know that there are some programs out there to help, but medications are extremely expensive, and so more copay help and just different access to medication for everybody.
Yeah, so everyone with MS could access what they need.
Correct.
I think a little bit more public understanding of what people are going through with MS. There's a lot that's happening with a person psychologically and physically that you can't really see. And even spouses, family members, they just don't understand. That's one thing. The other thing is, of course, medication. At an event like this, you're walking through and you can go to these different little stations and you can see medication and hear about something that's been on the market for 6 years or so, and you're never really told about it. Now, as a spouse to somebody who has MS, and you go to these different things, you try your hardest to go ahead and find out the different medications and stuff like that, and you're not told everything.
Just more access to information about treatments.
Absolutely.
Probably the biggest change is accessibility to the medications, because right now some of the medications out there can be as much as $6,000 per month when you're not factoring in insurance. So yeah, that would be the single biggest change.
You were just telling me off camera it's a big game to get these copay assistant programs, right?
Yeah, it really is.
Changes I would like to see with people with MS is more communication. There's access for people with MS to copay cards or help in general, but the communication given to patients with MS is not made available. So it's very confusing, and the companionship that we need in order to get that information is not readily available.
Just knowing how to access the resources that are available to you.
Correct.
Like if you look for it, it's there, but it's hard to know where to look.
Exactly. It's a little or a lot overwhelming.
I can understand that.
I wanna see that anything can go through this, and anything can do everything they want to do.
For us to be more accepting of ourselves with this disease, for us to understand that we can still live life and move forward with it, and have society understand that we are people.
I would like to see them money. The medicine is very expensive. Very expensive.
So you would want to see more access to medications like copay assistance, that kind of thing?
Exactly.
Okay.
And because I'm married now, they won't give me no medicine. So are people supposed to stay single or what?
So you're rich on paper is what you're trying to say, right?
I think more handicapped access. I know my brother who has MS often has difficulty because he has a walker, and I know that there's still a lot of facilities that are not handicapped elevators, more awareness about handicapped folks in general.
I would say more giving more information out so people are more knowledgeable and more understanding about what MS is. So they have an understanding when you see somebody with MS, they can accept them more as just having an illness, as opposed to being so different.
Either got equipment and drugs.
I'd like to see easy access to research, results, that sort of stuff.
Like if there's a portal for you could get access to clinical trials, side effects of medications, that kind of thing.
Absolutely, I like to see where my donations are going to.
As it's being released, that's what's happening.
More research should be done for that. It's kind of a disease that still people are not taking seriously. I just like to see more research and then more stuff out there for people that are just having it.
Changes with paying for the medication so they can afford that medication. The government can help them and won't be expensive. It's very expensive. It's over $1,000. Yeah.
Like more copay assistance, access, that kind of thing.
Exactly.